All right, guys. I don't know why I did that. I hope you're still with me. If not, you will be. So, if I didn't get that link out there properly, let me make sure I do that. Okay, if you need to follow me, see now that's a kind of a mistake on my part because I wasn't thinking ahead. I need to actually post that in the description below the video, right? And then while you're watching on YouTube, you can just scroll down and tap the comment section, or I mean the more section on the description, and you can see the link to send me a message on. But if you need to send me a link, Twitter is the best place to do it. I keep it very clean over there, so there's like zero chance of me getting banned on that particular account, and that's why. So I spend a lot of time over there. There's a lot of cool shows on Twitter. Now, see, here's what Twitter's good for. It's even better than Facebook when you're looking at who to follow. So if you're somebody that's doing a lot of streaming, and for example, you have an event show, again, you're doing events, like you're sailing around the world on a boat, or you're doing speed racing and you're constantly working on your boat and showing people little tricks, or whatever. If you have a Twitter account, it's really good because you can keep posting over there. You're going to garner a large following base over there on Twitter. And when you have a large following base and those people are sharing your video and you join these other platforms, you can do pretty good. Now, when I'm talking platforms, I'm not talking about just a Twitch or a TikTok or something like that, or a Facebook or whatever. I'm not talking about those type of platforms. I'm not talking about just your free platforms to podcast on, like YouTube or Gab social network or anything like that. What I'm specifically referring to is platforms that you pay to be on, or that you might be invited to be on for free just because they want your content to attract people to join their platform to pay for. If you're in a sailboat community, for example, you want to be in a group that's private just for those sailboat people. And by meeting those people, you are going to meet those contacts and join those platforms and do really well, because you're also going to be able to hook up with those people when you travel from one place on the planet to the next. You might be sitting there over there in England on your sailboat wondering, where are we going to go to next? Now, you don't want to travel halfway around the world just to go meet up with a bunch of people, and then you might want to travel back. That's a lot of wear and tear on your boat and whatnot, right? So anytime you're doing any type of activity, you want to either create or join a group for your little mix of people. So if you're in the entertainment business, you want a good way besides just on your cell phone, getting on there and calling people. Yeah, I'm going to need 10 more entertainers over here to help us with this event. You need to specialize in that type of entertainment or whatnot, right? So what you want to do is you want to join that private group just for those people. You dig? Now, some people actually charge revenue to run those sites. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with paying your $5 or whatever a month to keep that site going, because everybody's going to join that site and communicate with each other. Now, if it's not worth it, of course, you'll leave that site and cut out and go do your own thing. My point is, you need to get your niche going. You need to get into your mix of people for whatever you're doing. So if you're doing a sports podcast and you're, say, an Eagles fan, you definitely want to be in communication with other sport podcasters, because y'all might want to do a video and go head to head. But you want to keep it clean, you want to keep it good, but you also want to keep it dynamic. So in order to do that, you got to know the right podcasters to do that with, right? Somebody who's pretty cool person, somebody who's not going to go overboard or, you know, past the line, so to speak. You want to know what podcasters are real podcasters. You don't want to go out there and podcast with somebody that works for the NFL, for example, or for a football team, for example. And there's a lot of those podcasters out there. So if you're going to do real podcasting in that direction, you really got to network just right. And when you're in the right network, you're off and running. That's a good niche to be in. I will also tell you this. Again, your platforms that you can use, you're not limited to. Okay, guys? So if you want to be in on any kind of platform, it should be a platform with other podcasters. Now, here's the trick also. If you're over in, say, a free speech system platform, what you're then going to be looking at is what other podcasters do they have there? And I can tell you ahead of time, they got your tarot reading kind of people there. They got your people that do meditation. They got people that are trying to sell you vitamins. They got all kinds of that kind of stuff over there. And that's fine and dandy for those people trying to generate a revenue in that direction. Prior to that, the guy that was doing a large part of that was the guy that invented the term Red Pill, Red Pill University. He had his own platform that specialized in just that type of products, if you will. See, when you're podcasting, a product doesn't mean you got to have a coffee cup to sell. It doesn't mean that you got to have a poster to sell. It doesn't mean that you're going to sell t-shirts or any product like that. Your product could very well simply be the entertainment that you're putting out in your videos. Now, you might be one of these people, I'm not going to name any names, because a lot of you know how we do those things, but you might want to do call-ins to, say, I don't know, the Dallas Cowboys, and you want to get a hold of Mr. Jones himself. And it might be, well, you know, if you get, now here's where this little voice imitating apps come in real handy. If you get a Google number, you can, of course, do your business Google number to have a recording, right? And your recording is going to be pretty much based on however you want to run it. So you can have, say, an operator answer the phone. Let's say it's during regular normal hours, you're doing this video. You call in, and you've reached the Dallas Cowboy department. How can we help you? Dial number 1 for this, dial number 2 for that. You know how they do it. So you can do the same thing with Google numbers. It's pretty simple and easy. Everybody does those type of things. So then you're hitting a number on your phone like I just did. Of course, I didn't really do that, but if you were watching the video, you might think I did because you saw my hand go boop, and you see the phone make it move, right? Okay. I might even have another app over here, which there are apps you just you got music apps that'll do that. So you go over there, you can press a button if you want to make a sound. You don't have to do that though. You can just pretend you hit the button. Boop. Okay. I guess I'm gonna hit number 2. Fuck them. Right? Oh, pardon my language. Trying not to cuss too much in this video. So anyway, so now your buddy's gonna play, because if you're on cue, you can do it yourself if you have like a computer to do it separate from your cell phone, or you can show yourself in another camera pushing a button. It makes it look so real. I don't know who that is. My point is, you can talk to the Dallas Cowboys owner without ever talking to the Dallas Cowboys owner. You dig? You can either have pre-recorded messages that are read, and it sounds like you talking, or you can have your buddy. Like I could do this with Jens. Jens probably does this a lot. He might be another one. that would talk to certain people on the phone. So if you're creating that type of content, for example, and you're going to need a good platform to put that on, right? Not just YouTube, not just Facebook. You're kind of limited there unless you're really doing good. You're well known. You got a name out there. Like Jens could get away with just doing those platforms. But if Jens wants to improve his numbers, Jens is going to go out there and find a good platform to join. So that platform is going to have a limited amount of people on it. For example, you're going to see maybe 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or even 100 people paying to be on that platform. And if you got other sports podcasters on that platform, you can interact together. You dig? So you got to have your network set up if you're in that type of scenario. But if you're not, if you're somebody that's just doing auto videos, you're uploading auto videos, right? So you're going to be working on a vehicle and you're never going to do that live stream. I can tell you, I've never seen anybody do that live stream. What they do is they pre-record their videos, and they're going to have like 16 to 30 to 60 hours worth of video time. They're going to run through the video, and they're going to show maybe tightening a nut on a starter, right? They're going to talk about why they needed that particular starter, right? So they're going to pull out a package with that starter because they got an extra one laying on the table coincidentally. So then they're going to point out the good features of having that type of starter and why they need that particular type of starter in that particular vehicle. They might be running more electricity through the system. A lot of people do that. You can generate a lot more speed and a lot more power because you're pumping more juice into that motor. You dig? So you can pump more fuel through that motor. And then, of course, you got the electricity that those spark plugs are producing to be separated a lot more, thereby creating a better electrical shock, which is going to ignite the fuel a whole lot better. So if you're into auto racing, or if you're just into being a mechanic in general and souping up your vehicles a little bit, you know about those little tricks, right? You also know about, little bitty wire that you got to change out in order to allow that kind of current to go through there. That's going to be in your solenoid, per se. Okay, well, you know about those little tricks, right? So if you're going to put up your product, which is your video, you dig? You might not have no t-shirts or baseball caps or anything to sell. So when I talk in terms of product in this particular video, and I talk in terms of platform, those are two different things. And I'm not talking about platforms that's on YouTube. I'm talking about platforms that you pay to be on. Okay, like any platform on there where you got to pay to be on. Now, not all platforms is for you. For example, you might be on a platform where they're showing you how to sew. They got 5 people on there doing videos on how to sew. Whatever product, how to sew. You might have they might be doing videos on how to make your brain more intelligent. How to meditate, how to, just whatever. Okay, so if you're a sports podcaster, do you want to go join that network? No, you don't. That network is actually not referred to as a network. It's referred to as a panel. So you want to go pay to be on that panel. Ultimately, it's not even called a panel because you're the one producing the panel. It's called a platform. So what I'm telling you is to Google platforms, like a list of platforms, and then whatever your venue is. So if you're doing sports podcasting and it's for the LA Rams, okay, you're going to, in particular, or the Raiders, I guess. So if you want to do your podcast and you're a Raiders, whether you're a Raiders fan or not, you decide that you're going to do podcasts specifically for the Raiders. And let's say you're only live streaming. You just have a cell phone you're running off of. you don't have a way to really edit your videos. You're not really, you don't have the funding to pay that extra $10 a month or $20 a month. Usually you can get a really good editing video online for $10 a month. So therefore, that would be beneficial to you to have that you would download on a computer to edit your videos. See, there's advantages depending on your needs. So if you got a computer that can push a good video editing program, you definitely want to buy it and download it to your PC, because then later on, if you want better special effects or anything like that, you can go purchase those products for like $5 a pop, right, or $10 a pop, and you got it on your PC. You don't have to be online to edit your video. So if you're somebody doing a video on mountain climbing in Alaska and you don't have a good internet connection, a lot of times out of the year, you're going to want that product. You're going to want to download it to your PC. But now let's say you're somebody that lives in California, but you're a Raiders fan, or you live in Vegas, and you're doing those type of videos, but you only have a cell phone. Well, now if you're going to do video editing, you got to pay for it online, number one. Number two, you might not even want to bother with that. So you're just doing live streaming. So what you do is sometimes you'll write out a little rant that you're going to do, right? Or some notes where you can go 1 through 10 on your rants, and you're going to hit number 1, number 2, number 3, and you're going to go through the list. Bam, you're done. You made a really good live stream video. You can still take that video if you use a platform, a different kind of platform, platform application. Now, a platform application is something like StreamYard, Restream, or they got a lot of other ones out there you can use besides those two. But let's say you're using one of those products so that you can live stream on lifetime on Google Maps. So now you're on Google Maps, and people get on Google Maps and they, hey man, look at all these live streamers. They go, well, I wonder who's live streaming in Austin, Texas. So they'll go over to Austin, Texas, and they'll blow up the little screen, and they'll see 3 people broadcasting live in Austin, Texas. And they click on one of those, and they see you. That's just one place that you're broadcasting on. You're also broadcasting on YouTube. You're also broadcasting on Facebook, or maybe you're also broadcasting on Gab or Minds or what the heck ever social network you're on. And Brandon, if you keep up those comments, I'm going to have to ban you, buddy. You know better than that. That's not acceptable. So when you end up doing videos like this and you're a live streamer, that's your product that you're selling. So now if you want to create your fan base, you need a page and a site to go create that. So you got to Google for that. If you're trying to generate more interaction, such as let's say if I want to interact with Yins and I am a Raiders fan, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a hold of Yins, and I'm going to say, hey buddy, let's go head to head on this particular topic. And you'll just say, okay, well, how long is the video for? And you might say, hey man, I'm just going to do a 30-minute video, bro, and that's it. He'll say, yeah, I guess I could go that long. Yeah, 30 minutes sounds good, but that's kind of long on one topic. Okay, but I want to hit on this, and that. Well, now you got some conversation going on over there. Y'all are going to beef back and forth, and that's your content. He can also use that for content. So now you're networking. But where are you going to put it at? Are you going to put it on YouTube or another free social network? Are you going to take out a 5-minute skit, put it up on TikTok or Twitch? See, those things come into play when you're talking about what kind of platform that you want to put your video on. So now, if you go join a regular platform where you're a member, where you're paying to be in this platform every year, and it's nothing but sports podcasters of any genre, they actually have a lot of those out there. You can be into the NFL, you can be into college football, and there's different sections you can click on, and then go see who all of these people are that are podcasting and creating this type of revenue. And you can communicate with those people, and you can cross platform with them. So what's going on, Topher? So when you're looking at what kind of platform you want to be on, or it depends on what you're doing. So for example, if you do that kind of product and your product is only your videos, then you're not going to have a store set up. But let's say you've been podcasting for about a year, you got a name out there, and if you want to then grow in terms of revenue, because now you got a good following base, you might have 10,000 people following you. That's not bad. That's not bad to start out with for that type of podcasting. You know, back when I was doing it, I had upwards around 38,000 followers, but I never did any of this other stuff because for me it was just a hobby. It was fun, and I never really got into it like that. Next year when I go into podcasting, within a year I plan on even before that, I'm going to have a product line set up. But also, I'm going to start having a club venue set up. So I'm going to do certain videos on certain topics concerning the NFL in particular. And then, if you want the better NFL content from me, you're going to have to go join my club. So you're going to pay the $5 or the $20 or the $50 a month in order to join that club. Or I might even go $50 a year. Who knows? Okay, now let's say the people that have this type of setup, if you go look at their membership base, it generally might surprise you. They have a large following base. Now, see, here's another place avenue where a guy like Jens or Dallas 420 or 412, I mean, up there, they would do a much larger revenue if they were to start up a club site. So you got to go to a site. It's very much like going to a site to start up your store so you can sell coffee cups and hats or t-shirts or socks. In the past, I had people make products on their own of me, and like socks. Y'all remember that? Stop It Bob. Y'all remember the yellow Stop It Bob socks? Those are pretty cool. And but irregardless, you can set up these products, and that generally takes a while to build up a base of people that want to continue to buy your products as you put them out. But the best way to do that is not just by having a following base. Now, Yenzer at one time had, I think it was 326,000 followers. Now, it might be 50,000 more or 10,000 less. I can't remember his exact numbers, but he had a lot of people following him, right? And he also follows me a lot. And I like to follow. I watch all of his videos, too. He's pretty good at what he does. I'm not a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but I'm more of just an NFL fan. So if the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing something like the Chiefs, I'm going to root for the Pittsburgh Steelers because I'm just naturally a Pittsburgh Steelers kind of fan. If the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would like to see the Cowboys win. You dig? But I don't know, you might see the Chiefs playing the Browns and you might root for the Browns because, well, they're going to be the underdog, let's face it. So whatever you got going on with your revenue, if you're doing sports broadcasting, the biggest advice I could give those people is don't just set up a product base, set up a club base. People go join your club. You dig? They're paying you $5 a month just to see more content out of you. Now, you might have 3 levels of content right there. You can also charge people to be in your live stream. So if you're doing a live stream one day, instead of just doing a rant like Jens is well known for, you might also put out something like he might want to do a video next year with me because I might be the guy that's up top. I might be the top 10 guys online that's predicting all the wins in the NFL every week. So if I'm that guy, Jens wants to do a live stream with me. It might not be me. It could be one of you guys out there. So I'm not rejoining Discord. Sorry about that, Topher. I'll click you. You can follow the link up above that I posted to my Twitter, though. You can follow me over there. And I have other YouTube channels you can find me on as well. It's all good, buddy. So what I'm getting at, if Yin sets up a club base within 3 years, he can easily make 3 to 10 times the revenue that he's been making. And I can tell you, he's made really good revenue out of those 325,000 fans, or 26,000, 28,000, whatever. I don't even know. If he comes around, maybe in comments, he can tell you what his numbers have been. And his numbers will go right back up in no time. It doesn't matter that they shut his channel down. He's just that kind of guy. He's going to generate all of the fans from Pittsburgh because they're going to be looking for his broadcast. Win, lose, or draw, he's a fun guy to follow if you're into NFL football, right? And they got college guys out there doing these podcasts. So they're doing the same thing. The number one thing that they lack is the 90% of those people don't have a club-based following. You understand? So whether you're doing any type of video entertainment or real life entertainment, that's my suggestion to you. If you want to generate and work on building up a good fan base for your product, then you want to generate that type of experience. You dig? You might venture off into something else. Okay, so if you're doing NFL football podcast, well, next year you might be thinking, you know what? I'm going to follow these top 10 college teams next year, and I'm going to do podcasts on that too. Now, you got to generate a following base for that type of entertainment that you're producing online. My suggestion is to, number one, look for a platform to join that best fits what you're doing. You're going to pay for that platform, but that platform is going to, if it's right in line with what you're doing or close to it, it can generate you 100,000 followers in 1 month. You understand? So, because you have the advertising support of that platform, and that's a lot of advertising to be going down. The drawback to being on some of those platforms is you might have to advertise their stuff too. So what I would suggest in that is, like, at the beginning of your video, you simply run it through your little video there and simply run a quick advertisement for those guys that's on your platform that you have to support because you're on that platform. And in return, they're going to do that for you. So if you're on a platform where people have 5 million followers, 1 million followers, 1.5 million followers, 300,000 followers, and you're just starting out what you're doing, the number one best way to get followers is to join a platform. It's going to cost you a little money, sure, but it's going to get you started really quick. Once you get a good amount of followers, you then open up your club to those followers. Oh, wow, he's got more content. They click on there and you just uploaded 5 videos. You're starting out. So now they're going to go watch all 5 of those videos and they're going to get more in-depth information. You might go visit that college team and you might get to talk to the coach. You might get to talk to a couple of coaches. You might find out who the team doctor is and go pay them a visit. Of course, they can't really divulge any personal information. My point is, if you have the ability to do that and create more content, well, that's going to be a boost to you because you can put that in your club section only. But you can mention it when you're doing your regular podcast. So a guy like Jens, he might want to find out what he's got to do to go interview one of the coaches for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, he could take like a 2-hour interview with all of these different coaches or videos that he's made. He can go dice them up online with a video editor, and then he can download them right to his social club where people pay $5, $10 a month, whatever, to be in a social club. Or he can do an online video and then go to that social club and make a private video and then edit it, put it back, or maybe not even have to edit it. Most of the time he wouldn't have to edit. So then he's just going to make it public. You keep doing that, making a video once a month or even 2 a month, those people are going to pay to be in your club because you got more inside information, more so than what you're putting out in your regular videos. You dig? And that's a lot of revenue. When you got 100,000 people paying $10 a month, well, you do the math. That's a lot of fucking money. Pardon my language again. Dang, that's twice. I apologize, guys. Bad language. I know people get on to me about that sometimes. Whenever you are looking in terms of revenue, if you're interested in making better revenue, what this video does is it opens your eyes to tools that you can do to create better revenue when you're making your product or videos. I'm going to be doing these things by next year. So if I can do these things by next year, it's something that you might want to pay attention to and maybe figure out how you can incorporate it into what you're doing as far as your product goes. You may have never done podcasting before. Let's say you run an entertainment business and you got all kinds of cool stuff going on. Like you made a bunch of wood where people can roll a wooden ball, or the real heavy one, and it'll roll and then jump up a ramp, and then you're trying to nail that center hole. Okay, you might have a little racketeer type, mini type game going on. You might have to where you can set up like just a one shot, you can putt golf course type setup. Something that will fit indoors. You might have you're running on carpet, you know, whatever. You can do with whatever entertainment you're doing, you can have your club base set up. Now, once a month, you want to create a video to where you're thinking about, or maybe you went out and made a new type of game, and you're trying to advertise to your clientele. Your clientele that has joined your group to watch those certain videos, they're going to go watch those videos. But it's not just for that. You can use that video as a selling tool. So you can take that video and incorporate it with another video and send it to a possible client. So, irregardless of what your product is, whether it's just you, your video, and that's the entertainment, or if you're selling around the world, you're working on cars, it doesn't matter if you're just doing a video on how to sew different materials. Anything, whatever your videos are that you want to put out, if you want to generate more followers, if you want to generate more views, then the number one thing that you really need to look at is not just by just uploading your videos to YouTube. You also need to upload those videos to a particular platform. So if you're somebody that is you're living in a van and you're showing people all the cool niches how to live in a van, like you can pop out this stove here, you can hide it like that, or you got this way of storing food that people just never seen before because you invented it, or maybe you didn't invent it, maybe you just copied something that somebody's using for a cabinet or something or whatever, and you got a way to it pulls out, and there it is, there's all your food product right there to choose to eat from, and you're living in a little van, right? If you want to live stream that product, you want to join a platform that fits with that type of activity. Now, IP2 would not be that activity, and it might be because they do RV style stuff, but all of their stuff, when you see a real fight scene over there, well, obviously 9 times out of 20, it's not a real fight. I mean, they're really making contact with each other, but they're not making full-fledged contact. You know, one of them might end up with a black eye or a bloody mouth and that kind of thing. We've seen that with Danny from LA, And a lot of the other guys over there, they're pretty cool over there. Some of those guys at IPT, some of them are people you don't want to even know, though, right? Oh, God, that guy over there. You'd be surprised that some of these people, they actually own nice houses. They got like one female over there. I'm not going to mention her name because that'd be like kind of along the lines of doxing. It's not really doxing. She owns 2 houses outright. She's buying a 3rd. And now she's buying a 4th house. She does not even do her own content hardly. She does, but it's very little in comparison to what she gets paid to do, which is she gets paid to go on other people's RVs or whatever they're doing. They're living in a van, they're living in a tent, or you name it. She'll do it if you pay her the money, right? So that's what she makes a lot of revenue, guys. A lot of freaking revenue doing that. So this girl hops around with all these podcasters being a star guest. Why? Because when her name pops up in a video, let's say T Bob and so, my video instantly is probably going to hit 3,000 views, right? I've done that in the past. So because your name boosting yourself right here. Now it can be a temporary thing or it can be a permanent thing. But what you're doing is you're paying somebody to be in your podcast, and there's some people will do it just for the hell of it. If they like you, some people, well, you got to pay them $1,500 to be in your podcast. Some people will do it for a percentage of your donations off of that video for the next entire year. Now you're entering a contract with these people where you got to show them what you're getting your donations from and how much you're getting, and that's fine. So some of these people that you think are homeless, you think they're poor, they're not. And some people that you think from well-to-do houses, they're not always doing good in life. They might really need your donations, kind of thing. So you never know when you're watching the video how real that video is. More times than not, guys, it's not real. It's fake. It's made for a particular reason, for particular content, for particular people to watch those videos. And that's it. I do a lot of that. There's a lot of people that do a lot of that. But I can tell you now, some of it's real, but a lot of it's fake. So you gotta weed through what's real and what's not real, and use some common sense. You know, we see True Freeman over there. Remember when he got in a fight with that guy in the garage? 100% fake. It's been years now, so I can go ahead and talk about that. He comes up there, boy, he was acting like he was really mad. Right? And he just hauls off and hits this guy, and the guy just went like that, and then he falls straight back. But he fell back, but he bent as he fell. Totally fake. I mean, if he'd just been straight up knocked out like that, his head would have bounced off the concrete. Real talk, right? But I happen to know that guy grew up with True Freeman. He went to high school with True Freeman, and to this day, they live in the same exact neighborhood, a block and a half from each other. So, a lot of this stuff that you see online is fake. Sometimes you see a real fight scene. I had one of those that a lot of you have seen online. That wasn't fake. But there's a lot of time, more times than not, when you see like True Freeman or I forget that other guy's name that he does a lot of videos with, or he used to all the time. Those guys went to high school together, guys. They're best friends. You know, there's no way those two are gonna do videos together for 7 freaking years and not be friends. Okay? So a lot of this stuff that you see, a lot of real life podcasts, like IRL, they do a lot of IRL streaming. It's intermixed with just regular podcasting, the way they do it. And they had a real good setup going for a long time. I don't know if they're still doing that over there or not. But for about a good 8 years solid, they were top of the line, man. They had so many followers. A lot of features that I'm adding into this video that I'm talking about that you can do to boost your revenue, for example, or to boost your following base, they did not have. And that's why their following base is so freaking limited over there. Their income is very limited over there because they are not utilizing all the tools that you have online to use. They're making the money. Why don't they have the tools? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me with a lot of you podcasters, but there's a lot of things that you can do in order to boost your revenue. One of those things is to start up a store. Jens has a store. He sells his own product, and he does really good doing that, actually. He's got a good clientele base because he's in the right niche for that type of product to be sold. You hardly ever hear him talking about it, but you always see the link right there to hit. That's his niche. He's got a broad following base with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Pittsburgh Steelers will spend money to buy those products because it's Pittsburgh Steelers products. Doesn't matter that Jens has got his name on it in some kind of way or another. Who cares? What they're seeing is this really cool t-shirt that they want to be seen wearing. How cool is it to walk into a Walmart and look over and, hey, you're a Jens fan, bro. What's up, man? Yeah, that's pretty cool. You see that a lot with a lot of podcasters with those type of products. But if he don't have that, he's minus thousands of dollars of revenue in income. His donation base does pretty good too whenever he had a lot of followers going. I mean, if you got over 300,000 followers, your product baseline sales is going to go up. I mean, especially compared to somebody that has only 1,000 followers. I think on one of these channels, I finally reached 1,000 followers. The other one, I ain't got nothing hardly. So it doesn't really matter on these two channels because these aren't my primary channels. I'm just over here building these channels up right now. And once these hit 1,000, then I'll move on and use them for other purposes. Delete a lot. I'm constantly deleting videos. Oh God, I need to delete so many videos. And then I got a lot of videos that you want to keep online. So that's a way of me keeping my videos down because now I'm in the process of doing that. And it's something that you have to do every single year. You have to monitor what videos are doing good and which ones are not doing good, and delete the ones that aren't doing good or the ones that you don't like. If you're not doing live podcasts like that, like a live ranting podcast, like a Yenzer type of guy or a Dallas 412 Dallas Cowboys podcaster, which he doesn't do. He's not the ranter. Like this guy, I don't know how he makes the revenue he does. Outside of the fact there's not a lot of Dallas Cowboys podcasters out there right now. That's really fallen off if you haven't noticed in a while. And I don't know why that is. It's just is what it is. There's a lot of reasons for it I actually could name, but there it is. So he does a lot of podcasting, live podcasting, sitting behind his desk. Now Yenzer, he not do that. He'll get in his bedroom, he'll set his phone down, he'll start pumping weights, and he'll be like, "Yeah, baby, want some of this? Want some of it?" And you'll think he's talking about himself at first, right? And then he'll start going off about, "Yeah, baby, Pittsburgh Steelers going to run it down your freaking teeth," and he oh, he'll go off about them Pittsburgh Steelers, boy, and then he'll reach over, grab a hat, put it on sideways. So what you think about that, punk? And he's really good at doing rant style videos. He's really good. I really like his videos, even though I'm not a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. What he does is he's doing videos that he can upload to many platforms, including a TikTok, where you're limited to 5 minutes, or a lot of other places. He can edit out those videos real quick. If he accidentally throws in a cuss word, like in this video, I would have to edit out the 2 times I used the F-bomb, right? If I wanted to go, because I'm set for adult, I can get away with that over here. But if I go to put up something like a little 5-minute cutout over there on TikTok, but I wanted to use both sides of that, I got to cut that cuss word out. So I got to go edit that out. Maybe put in a beep, or maybe just take it out completely. probably the preferred method. So my point is, you have a lot of tools out there to use that you're probably not even aware that you can use, and it doesn't cost you as much as you think to buy into those products. Starting up a t-shirt business, Jens has already got the biggest expense out of the way. The only really thing that he needs to build up a lot more revenue is a club. Just like selling Emma, you go join their little club, and depending on how much you pay, depends on how much extra content that you get. Now, of course, she used to do a little bit of adult video work, right? And I think he did too. So they have experience in that, how to angle your camera and do this, how to make it look like two people just totally in love. Oh, God, that's so good, right? And people really eat up some video podcasters that are just in love. So you always want to go for that extra content if you're that big of a simp for that type of activity and entertainment. And they get a lot of it. Oh, God, they got a lot of it. If you go add up their revenue just in that alone, it's a tremendous amount of money. Not to mention the donations they get. They get secret donations from billionaires. This is a regular thing. I'm not even sure if they're up around $1 million or if they're just over $750,000. But I guarantee you they make an extraordinary amount of money. They got lucky. You reach into people that are brought up in a certain era. And Dan is a smart guy. They both went to school for engineering. They saw right away that there was a way to start up a live stream and generate a large amount of revenue in this way. There was that possibility, so they went for it, and they are living their dreams. They're on their 8th year now, and in the 7 years that they've been podcasting, they went from 0 income to over 700,000 income per year. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. And generally, yeah, it's true. Most of you aren't going to make that kind of income podcasting. I would be very set back if I could ever generate that kind of income broadcasting. Of course, next year, by next year, I'm planning on implementing those little things one step at a time and build up for future online entertainment and getting paid to do it. So that's why I've been going around the internet researching every little aspect of how to generate income in particular. But you can't have income without a good following base. And unless you just got a niche like a Yenzer and you're already popular as hell online, you got to generate that base, guys. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to join a platform of like-minded individuals who can help you grow those numbers. And as your numbers grow, you're also going to grow their numbers in return. So if you got 20 to 50 people on a platform, you're helping each other generate higher numbers. That's the number one key. And that's the number one thing that you're looking for when you're looking for a platform to join. But, well, besides the fact that you want a platform that best fits your needs. You dig? So and there's a world of difference between auto racing and basketball. So if you're doing podcasting one or the other, you're probably not going to get a lot of mechanics or people that are into auto racing, like maybe those kind of people versus those people aren't really going to switch over and also go watch your basketball podcast, for example. You might do the Dallas Mavericks. Okay, well, Dallas Mavericks are going to generate basketball fans. So if they join a podcast type of platform that they're paying to be on, they're paying to get numbers, followers. You got to look for those type of platforms or like platforms. If you're into Olympic swimming, okay, and you're doing a podcast, you got a niche. You're around all the swimmers all the time. You know where to go. You live in a city where there's a lot of that going on. Okay, that's great. But what good does it do you if you want to do that for a living and you can't get a good following base because you're not popular? You might even make some of the best videos out there. You might even get up to around 1,000 followers. But if you're just not putting your name out there properly, guys, you're not going to end up with 100,000 followers, 1,000,000 followers. You're not even going to be anywhere in that neighborhood unless you just are already that popular. You built up your popularity. Now you're going to start up another venue. You went from basketball to swimming. So now you got to get revenue over there. You got to get guys over there to watch your videos. And you're generally not going to get a bunch of basketball fans want to watch swimming videos. Oh, you'll get some, but not a lot. What kind of platform are you looking for, guys? That's what you got to look for. What can bring you to people that are interested in watching whatever style video it is that you're doing, whether you're building a log cabin out in the middle of nowhere, or camping, or you live in a van or an RV. Those are all different types of entertainment. They're similar, but they're different. And you're going to get specific class of people that want to watch auto working versus racing versus sports versus fishing versus anything else. You understand? So if you got a venue that you're running, then you definitely want to be. Now, that could be something that you can generate fans in a lot of different platforms. You still need to go through those platforms to determine what platforms are going to generate you a bigger audience. And this is going to be a regular thing for you. You're going to be dedicated to a platform for at least a year. And your numbers, you're going to see how your numbers go up. Do they stagnate? Is the platform stagnating? Are they starting to lose members on the platform? It might be time for you to go find another platform even. And that can happen anytime during that year or after that year, right? So you have to keep up on these things as well. You have to go back to your platform and pay attention to the numbers on a regular basis. But if you're somebody that's considering needing a platform in order to generate a good following base, which is going to in turn generate a good amount of money for you and income, then of course, no matter what you do, if you're a yins and you're just putting out product, you can increase your base salary from $3,000 or $5,000 a month up to $100,000 inside of 2 years if you start with your own club. That's the best way to do it. Now, if you're a podcaster and you're just doing news type podcasting, but you have guests on your show all the time, well, then you want to have your club-based setup generated, specialized in that direction. You dig? So instead of just doing it like Drunken Peasants does it, where people pay $300 to be on their podcast, or they might come get me, I would be a specialty guest. I don't pay shit. Oh, there I went again. I'm sorry. I'm sitting in the cuss word. I got to work on that. I really do. I got to work on that. So if they come get me, they're trying to get a certain amount of donations, right? They might be $20,000 donations or whatever. So they'll come get me, and I'll be a guest star on there. Okay, that's different. I got a name out there. Whether I get a lot of people watch my video at times, sometimes I might only 10 people watch a video. Other videos, it might be 300. It might be 1,000 the next week. You just never know. It depends on what my video is about. If people are really interested. Now, this video will garner a lot of views, but it's going to take time. It may take 3 months or whatever before you see a lot of attention to this video. And it depends too whether I put this video out there to be seen or not. Right? I can just leave it here and just let it kind of mulch in its own soil and see what it does. I do a lot of that. So again, if when I start doing specialized videos in a direction, I'm going to join a platform. I'm going to have a club base set up. That club base can generate you an enormous amount of income per year. I've seen this with so many podcasters. I'm definitely hooked. I definitely want to do it. I'm definitely going to set something like that up, most likely within this year. I'm going to be setting a store up within the next 3 months, I'm hoping. Jens has one set up. I should probably talk to him a little bit more, right? And I will, of course, talk to some of you out there who have that kind of setup. And I'm going to be doing a lot of online searching, looking around for this, looking around for that. Right now, I got a lot going on in my life, so I need this, I need that. I need a lot of stuff. Money's always an issue. How am I going to spend my money? I need a good 16 gigabyte, 32 gigabyte PC. I've had some offers out there, so I don't know. We'll see what's going down here in the near future. One of you might just decide to send me a 32 gigabyte, $11 Hunter PC for all I know. And you might not. I might just have to save up some money and go out and buy one in a couple of months. And that's fine. I'm definitely going to have one this year before too long. What that will do for me is when I start doing specialized videos, I'll be able to download and upload videos after editing them on my PC. I won't have to edit them online. So that will cut out a lot of costs for me. After the period of 1 year, I'll be saving that $10 per month instead of spending it because I'll have the program already paid for on my PC. Now, I might have to spend 10 or 20 bucks a year to upgrade or update it every year. So I might skip a year or two and then update it 3 years from now. Who knows? However you want to do it, you can do it. Whatever is going to best suit you for what you're doing is what you need to do. Why else would I get a computer? Unlike Jens. Well, Jens, I don't know if he has a PC or not, but he does do a lot of t-shirt products. And I'm not sure how he does that, knowing that for the most part, he just uses his cell phone. So if he's just doing his cell phone, he's got some kind of editing program, paint type program, where he's bringing in objects and mixing them and creating his own artwork for these t-shirts. So if that's something I'm interested in, or you might be interested in, you need to get and talk to a podcaster who already has that same setup you're looking for. So if you know somebody that's just using their cell phone and you're like, well, how can I do that on my cell phone? Go talk to a podcaster that just uses his cell phone. Now, that's not going to be a 412 because he uses PCs. Again, maybe Jens can put out a video for everybody showing us what product he uses and how to do it. That's more content for him, number one. Maybe he don't want to do that for whatever reason. But if you hook up with guys, or maybe you can Google it on Facebook, there's a good idea. Now you go learn what program to use on your cell phone to where you can make your own unique coffee cups or hats or whatever your products are that you want to go sell. Me, I'm the type of guy, I like to make my own artwork from scratch. So I need a good PC for that, right? So obviously I'm going to go that direction. If you want a good, say, if you're out there generating a lot of attention to your site, you cannot just use YouTube, and you cannot just use Facebook. You have to use other social networks, and you have to use, sometimes, in some cases, you have to use paid for videos. And there are a lot of sites over there that generate millions of people every year that will pay $1 for every single video that they watch or more. So you got to pay attention to those kind of networks. And I know it's kind of a pain in the rear to keep up with like 5 different networks. It is. But once you got it going, guys, it's easy to maintain, to start up and maintain that social network for what you're doing. So if you're putting up videos for your venue, whatever your venue is, you can upload those videos to those sites, and you're still generating a slight income over there, but you're generating what's called a dedicated base. What good does it do for you to have 10,000 followers if nobody's sharing your videos? It doesn't do you a lot of good. What good does it do to have 10,000 followers if only 10 people are buying your t-shirts per year? Hey, you ain't doing no good at all. You suck. I got to tell you right now, you need to change up whatever the hell you're doing wrong, right? You want a good base following that's dedicated. So you want people that's going to come back and watch your videos. If you got 10,000 following base, I'm going to tell you from past experience, you better have more views than 300 views per video. Like somebody like me, I might have 10 to 500 views on my videos. Okay, big deal, big deal. I'm not like if I started up just selling T-shirts. Well, I'm kind of a known guy. I might do pretty good per year starting out. But now, if I want to change venues, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go show you the docks in Venezuela. Does Venezuela have docks? Let me think about that for a minute. Okay. So, and I'm selling, I get on a sailboat and I sail over there and we're checking out all this cool eateries out there and activity, fun things to do. You might just go to a country in Africa and you're going to go to a movie theater. Like some of the islands do this, for example. You can go to some of these islands and you go to a movie theater and what does it look like? I'm going to tell you what it looks like. It's somebody who's got a house, who's got a big fenced-in backyard, right? And it's wood. It's a wood fence. It might have been there for years. And you're going to go pay them $5 to watch a movie per person, so $10. And who knows, they're in their good graces. You hit the right day, you might get it for $5 for two. But you're going to go watch a movie, right? They're going to hand you a fold-up chair, and you're not allowed to take any drinks in because you got to buy their drinks because that's how they make their money. And Lord knows you're not going to sit through a 2-hour movie or an hour-and-a-half movie or whatever and not want to have something to drink. So you're going to go buy that soda pop that costs $5. Right, or $3 or whatever, but they're going to make their income off that product, and you're going to pay a large price to buy their soda pop or even a bottle of water that they get for 99 cents. And now you're paying $2.50 for it. Why are you paying that much for a water? Well, because you're in there watching a movie, and you can't do it anywhere else on the island. That's their movie theater. Now, if you're the kind of guy that does podcasting or you upload videos because that's your way of doing entertainment, showing people what the world is like in these certain locations. I've actually seen a video like that. That's how come I know about that. So what you'll do is you'll videotape that up until the time you go into the theater because they're not going to let you video record inside of the venue. So then when you come out, right at that time, you're going to start recording again and you're going to talk about your experience briefly and you're going to walk on and then you're going to stop the video showing you walking off. So what you probably do is set your cell phone down, look around, make sure nobody's going to steal it, some bitch, right? And then you're going to show you two walking off, arm in arm, or whatever, or maybe just show one of you walking off, and then that's it. You're going to stop the recording right there, and then you're going to include that recording into another recording, and then another recording, and now you got a video to upload. So what do you need? You need a really good video editor that don't take you a lot of time and it's easy to use to, okay, you want this little section, you cut that, save it over there. You take another video, you want that much of it, you want like 45 minutes of all of that action. So you're going to save that as number 2. And then you might save another little 30-second little part of another video and you're going to put that over there, that's number 3. And then you're going to take your main base of your video and now you want all of that right in the middle of it. So now you start adding in, I want this here, I want that. You edit your video, guys. You want to, oh, you got music saved that you brought in over there. You're going to go put that right there where you want it. So now as you start walking off into, maybe you're going hiking now, okay? You're going down a trail because you're going to go from point A to point B. I've seen a lot of video people do this. So what you'll do is you can set up 2 or 3 cameras, or you can use one camera and set it up in different locations and rewalk that same stream 3 times. What does that do for you when you're editing your videos? Well, you set it on the ground, it's going to show you coming up the trail. You might be talking about something or whatever. You might even include that in your recording. Okay, if you got 2 cell phones, that would be pretty easy to do because now you can switch back. You got your video showing you coming up the trail. Boom. Now it shows you in front of the trail. Now you're just walking in front of the trail. Now you go stop the recording. Then you put a cell phone way off like on the side of you out there, but kind of at an angle. Now you rewalk the stream and you record it, and it shows you walking away down the stream. What's that next video recording for? It's going to be, you're going to climb a tree and put it in a tree limb, and it's going to be aimed down at a certain angle where you want it at. And you're going to come out of the tree and you're going to walk the trail again. And you're going to let it record you walking down the trail again. Now you can take all of those videos and you can make one video of you walking down the trail at different angles. Click, click, click. It does pretty good, guys. Believe it or not. I've seen that done on several of those people's sites where they do that type of activity, at least periodically. The same thing when you're say cave diving. I've seen a lot of people that are on these adventurous programs and they'll go cave diving. So what they do is they'll get a camera, like an underwater camera, and they put that and they stage that in one spot, and that camera will show them swimming like that. There you go. This is the camera right here, okay? And here we come. We're swimming. And they re-swim over and over and over again with that camera at different locations underneath that cave. Even they'll angle it towards the end of the cave and show you stopping and then turning up to go catch your breath to get out of the water, kind of thing, right? And then they'll set a camera up on top at different angles, different locations, and they'll pop up out of that water about 5 different times. Now, what have you done? You created a lot of video time. Not a lot of time per se, but you created a lot of different videos that you could create one video out of from different angles. Now you add in a little music, dun, 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 and you come up out of the water and, oh, man, that was great, right? Now you got content that you're putting up on the internet. But what good does it do to have that content if you're not generating a good following base? So this is why I'm enlightening people that there are platforms that you can join for really cheap or even free if you're the right person with the right content for that particular podcasting venue. All of those people want you over there that run that site. You might even get it for free. Imagine that. But if you join a good platform, you can generally increase your numbers tremendously. Now, for me to do that next year, I got to start up an entirely new podcast with an entirely new phone number. And that's just not a problem. That cost me $5 to do that, right? I'll start up 2 more channels. And the reason why is because all of my channels have been in a bubble over here on YouTube for years. So if I got one person watching, it might be 10 people watching. If it shows 10 people watching, we've seen it, guys. I've done this many a times where I've turned my screen around, and then what I'll do is I'll stop it on my cell phone, for example, and then on my screen I'll flip it around and It was as soon as it clicks up the numbers, it wasn't 10 people that were watching, it was 230 people watching. So you never know how many people watch my live streams until you go back and look the following day. I was telling this to a guy yesterday, and what are the numbers in that video? Exactly what I said they would be. They're over 50. And they said, well, there's nobody watching. Well, the next day there's over 50 people watch the video, and it's gone up to over 70, I believe, right? So you have to be aware of those things as well. Depending on what network you're on, do you need to start up a new channel to start up a new activity that you're doing so that you can put up your new product? You just might need to do that. So you might be somebody who's doing a series on coffee, and then your next series is on tea. Don't you think you're better served on a platform that's all about food? Of course. You don't want to be on a platform where people are doing camping videos. You're going to be very limited in how many people are going to transgress over there to watching you how to make the different types of tea, or what kind of tea exists out there. You can go buy at the local market that might be different. It might be some red tea from Red China, right? It might be some blue tea from, I don't know, Indonesia. Who knows? It could be blueberry tea from Idaho or Georgia. Whatever kind of flavored tea that you're buying. But whatever your program is about, I'm just pointing out. I've actually watched one of those before. I know it. Oh, God, it sounds boring. But, and I actually had tried some of the teas that they were actually talking about on there. That, yeah, that one sucked. Or, oh, wow, that one's pretty good. I tried that one. So you never know, right? What kind of content you might be able to watch one day on like YouTube, for example. YouTube has a good broad venue when it comes to what type of videos you might want to watch and that kind of thing. So, guys, all I can tell you is a platform might just be for you, and it might not. You might not need it. I found that probably 80% of all podcasters are desperately in need of joining not only a platform, but starting up their own private group over here to where they can have dedicated followers who watch podcasts, in particular, your podcast. And that, of all things that you can do, once you have a good following base, and then you're able to generate a good, solid, dedicated following base to generate revenue, is to have a club online. And I'm not talking just a club. It's specifically tailored to where people come in and they pay you that $10 a month, that $20 a month, or whatever you're charging to be a member so that they can watch more content and have better access to better products. Because guess what else you can offer those people? Coffee mugs that they cannot get on your website. They have to be members, and they have to be on that website to get those products. You dig? It's just like in the old days when you bought the National Rifleman magazine, or you bought any type of the National Rifle. Y'all remember that? Those magazines, Field and Stream and all of those? The only way you bought their specialized products is if you had that particular membership. You might be silver, you might be bronze, you might be gold, or whatever, and there's a little, not exactly in order there. Okay, but if you were a gold member, you could buy that really badass hat. And it was kind of like bragging rights wearing that hat around town, right? Like, oh, look at me, baby. I'm a member. You dig? And a basic member is just going to get the basic hat that they sell online. Now, you got people that want to be a member in your club, because they're not only getting, in our cases today, they're not only getting better material as far as what you get sent in a magazine, they're getting better material as far as what they could be entertained with watching your videos online. But the kicker is, now, if you got a product line set up, like a lot of these podcasters do, you can then offer your dedicated followers who join and pay every month to keep you going and to give you a decent income, or even a really good income, to an awesome income like some of these guys are generating online. You can then offer specialized products depending on what level they're at as far as their membership is concerned. Good luck to you guys. I hope some of this information was helpful to you. Even if I hear one of you come back and say, Bob, I set it up, I'm already rocking, that would be my reward for this video. So thank you again, guys. Peace out. God bless. Take care. And I wish you the best success in whatever it is that you're doing. How about that?